In this video, I'll show you how to use the layout library to build your floor plan in PowerPoint. If you're new, make sure to watch the tutorial for Starter Kit first, so everything here makes a lot more sense. You can also check out this short video to learn how to set your PowerPoint to metric or imperial units. Once you've made your purchase and downloaded the package, you'll see that it comes with multiple canvas sizes. These different canvas sizes are designed for projects of different scales. For example, if you're working on a small space like a studio, you can use the smaller canvas. It lets you see the details much more clearly on screen. If your project turns out smaller or larger than expected, you can simply copy your drawing from one canvas to another. The scale will remain the same. Now let's look at how to use the layout library. Think of this like a design book, but one you can actually use to build your floor plan. Layouts are grouped by room type. You can use the bottom menu bar to quickly move between them. Within each sheet, layouts are arranged from smallest to largest. So if you're designing a smaller home, start with the more compact layouts, and if you have more space, you can explore the larger, more complete options. Each layout group is made up of four-sided walls. Inside each room are individual stencils representing furniture and fixtures. They are carefully laid out with consideration for ergonomics, functionality, and efficiency. Everything is then grouped together as one unit. Also comes with area labels, which tells you the internal area inside the walls and internal dimensions. These are based on efficient, real-world proportions, but you can always adjust them to suit your needs. Enlarge the room, widen the walkway, and reposition the stencils. And you'll also find notes on each sheet to help you understand how each layout works and when to use it. Keep your layout library and your canvas open side by side. This way you can quickly browse and bring layout group into your design. To use a layout, click to select the group, then copy and paste it onto your canvas. Use shortcut key Control-C and Control-V to speed things up. You can rotate the entire layout group using this button. To be quicker, use the rotate handle while holding Shift. This snaps the rotation to fixed angles. You can move the entire layout group by dragging with the mouse. Now, let me duplicate this bedroom layout group with copy and paste. For finer adjustments, use the arrow keys to nudge it into place. You can also flip the layout horizontally or vertically using this flip button. This is especially useful when building your floor plan. Without redrawing everything, you can test a different arrangement by mirroring layout group. Let me bring the bathroom layout group to the above so the sliding door will show up. If you accidentally stretch the entire layout group, undo it right away. All the stencils inside will be distorted and lose their correct proportions. Instead, if you want to resize the room, click into the group and select the wall shape. Resize that shape on its own, then adjust the stencils inside to fit the new room size. As your layout gets more complex, the selection pane becomes really useful. Head over to the Home tab, click Arrange, then choose Selection Pane. Here, you'll see each layout group and all the stencils inside it by expanding the list. You can also hide, lock, or reorder entire layout group. You can hide a layout group to quickly test different arrangements. Locking a group keeps it fixed in place so you won't move it by accident. If the bathroom layout is moved lower in the list, the bedroom wall will appear in front and hide the bathroom sliding door. You can also adjust the stencils inside while keeping the group intact. It gives you the flexibility to explore different internal layouts without breaking it. Some elements inside the layouts are extendable. To identify them, check the notes or look at the name in the selection pane. For those stencils that are made of shapes, you can extend by stretching. You can tell whether it's a shape by checking the tab name above. For those stencils that are made of graphics, you can extend by adjusting the cropped area. Now let's start building the floor plan using the layout groups. First, choose the types of spaces you want in your home. If you're working with a smaller space or budget, you may want to choose smaller rooms or layouts with fewer features. Next comes positioning the layout groups. As explained in the Starter Kit video, think about things like privacy, views, sunlight, and how people move through the house. At this stage, it's good to explore different arrangements before deciding on one. You can easily move, rotate, or flip the layout groups to test different possibilities and see how the spaces come together. Finally, let me arrange the layout groups so they fit neatly within the outer walls I have in mind. It's a good idea to draw the site boundary and setback lines first as a guide, so you can make sure everything stays within the allowed building area. At this stage, don't worry about the gaps. We'll fill those in later. Focus on making sure the overall layout feels balanced and proportionate. For better accuracy, use the Align tools to line up both the outer edges and internal walls. This helps you create a neat and clean floor plan and easy for structure design. You can start to imagine how everything will come together. These gaps will become part of the rooms. These edges will align. If there were grid lines for walls, it would look like this. And these spaces will turn into hallways. By now, you should be able to imagine yourself walking through the space. Next, let's start combining the layout groups. You can start zooming in to see the details using Control plus Scroll button or the Zoom slider at the bottom right. I will start by extending the guest room into an L shape to fill the gap between the bedroom and bathroom. To do that, I will copy the existing wall shapes from the guest room, stretch it to cover the gap. Then aligning the walls with the neighboring walls. Once the walls are positioned properly, ungroup the layout groups so you can merge the shapes. Then select both wall shapes and use Union to combine them into one. And there you go. The guest room is now an L shape. Finally, I'll rearrange the furniture to suit the new layout. Similarly, I will extend the bedroom to create a little more space around the entrance to the master bedroom. Extend the bedroom wall shape until it meets the bathroom wall. With the two wall shapes overlap, we can merge them together using Union. Now move the wall shape lower in the selection pane so the furniture and fixtures appear on top. Adjust the door direction so the doors don't swing into each other. Now, let's start combining the layout groups to form the shared spaces. This includes the hallways, living room, dining area, and kitchen. We'll ungroup the layout groups first, overlap the wall shapes, then use Union to merge everything into one connected layout. With just a few steps, the overall layout is already taking shape. Now, let's refine some of the details. I will start by adding the main entrance door. I think the kitchen layout would work better, rotated by 90 degrees, so let me switch that around. Next, I will add the windows and sliding doors, followed by a pantry counter beside the dining area. I'll also add a new partition wall to separate the dining space from the family area. And there you go. The house floor plan is now coming together nicely. Let me walk you through how union and subtract work. To combine the shapes that form your room walls, start by extending the walls slightly so they overlap. The walls will be cleaned up when we merge them. Hold Shift to select all the shapes you want to combine, then apply union. Now, if you need to make changes after merging, you don't have to start over. You can use Subtract to remove areas, or Union again to add new ones. For example, let's say I want to remove this hallway. I'll place a shape over the area I want to remove. Zoom in and make sure the edges align properly. This ensures a clean result after merging. Next, select the base shape first, the one you want to subtract from. Then hold Shift and select the shape you're using to cut out the area. Finally, apply Subtract to remove it. That's how you refine your layout using Union and Subtract. At each step, make a copy of your slide so you can come back and explore different design options later. You can easily do this by duplicating the slide. Flip rooms, swap layouts, or try different configurations. This is where you often discover better ideas. When your new variation is done, put both layouts side by side so you can compare and decide which you prefer. With the layout library, you're not just designing, you're quickly exploring different layout options so you can see what works best for you and your site. Once your layout is set, you can start adjusting details. Bring in stencils from the stencil library like furniture, fixtures, and finishes. Adding details helps you personalize the layout and see the space more clearly. To learn how to add texture to your floor plan, click the link above to watch a separate video. For the full guide on the stencil, please check out Stencil Library Tutorial.